Classic crap.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Drew Estate Studios. With me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Do I click continue there? Did it?
You
I
have
could.
to, or else you
Good,
have to leave.
good man. I was a little weirded out by
That's
Zoom,
that's
feeling it
apparently a new
necessary to
Zoom
just.
feature, I guess.
That's not a great feature. Uh,
I thought I was connecting a
I,
work.
I
I
think
thought it
I, I
was like
think I
I
might
had a
have pooped
work
my
Zoom
pants there a
connected.
little bit. So we're gonna have to edit the podcast later to take out that little voice at the beginning. That's
There
nice.
you go. There you
You
go.
know,
Hey, thanks, Zoom.
I use the Zoom for work, and I forgot that I changed my name Seth Geist to Big Tuna for the Espinoza draft.
Nice.
So I have this board of directors who's like, "Who is Big Tuna?" And I was like, "Oops, my bad."
Nice.
All right, so today we are talking about the AVO Classic Belicoso. The cigar is 6-inch by 48 ring gauge. Comes out of the OK Cigars factory in the Dominican Republic.
Great
Uh,
size.
Wrapper is Ecuadorian Sun-Grown Connecticut. Binder and filler both from the Dominican Republic. Price point is $12. Cigar was released in February of 2021, and we picked these cigars up from Havana Phils in North Carolina. So if you are in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, make sure you stop by. Or if you just want to give them a call and say hi and ask them about buying some cigars, you can do that as well. All right, June, what was your experience like with the cigar?
Well, I'm not sure if it was because it's from Havana Phils or it's because it's from Davidoff, but it was very average. I think it's probably because it's from Davidoff. Thank you, Havana Phils. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for tuna. Okay, so uh, I don't. This is a blend. This is a line extension, right?
It's a return of a once limited Vitola, but this is it's like a re-release of a limited Vitola in the AVO Classic line.
Gotcha.
It's a pretty looking cigar.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it looks
man.
great.
It's a great size, dude.
Yeah.
6x48. It's just so funky.
No, I agree. And I've always liked those like Avo bands. I always thought they looked like real classy. But anyways, I don't care about how it looks. I care about how it smokes. It didn't smoke that great. um, I thought it was pretty average. I mean, it was like hay citrus stale wood for me. What I did like was on the finish, I had this like really dry, like bitter wood, kind of like tannin kind of wood, kind of a finish to it. And that kind of bugged me the whole time. It's not bad. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's not something that I would be excited to smoke again, I guess.
All right, Seth, what was your experience like?
I mean, kind of like June. I was getting like spice, cream, citrus, and I had like that wood, hay-like finish. But I actually enjoyed it, unlike June who hated it. And it had a good strength and body throughout. I really enjoyed it. But there's a lot more to break down with that too.
All right, John, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, the first third kind of started out almost reminiscent of a Hoyto Monterey Epi 2, but it just lacked body. I mean, it had that vegetal note, it had that hay, and like June was saying, that wood. This is just kind of boring, and for a $12 cigar, just kind of surprising. There was some mustiness that took over, kind of in the halfway through the first third, and then mustiness a lot in the second third, which wasn't unpleasant, just not particularly engaging. And then the last third was just mustiness, dry, tannic wood. And I'm like, okay, well, that's something for $12, I guess. I mean, the construction was pretty good, so there's that. But I wouldn't find myself going back to this. Aaron, what about you?
I thought the cigar had a nice start, had a nice musty aged cedar and floral note kind of combination. But once the chalkiness joined into it, kind of started degrading the profile. And then in the final third, some bitterness and the loss of the floral note kind of took things down another notch. I really wanted that first inch just to keep going. That was the kind of the profile I was looking for. And if that would have happened, it would have been a quite enjoyable cigar. But that chalkiness just kind of put too much of a damper on it for me. I might come back to it just to see if in another sample I don't get that chalkiness kind of persisting throughout. Because then, like I said, it'd be a very different outcome for it. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with Seth at 6.72. June and I both gave it a 5.75, and John gave it a 5.45. So, Seth, how'd that 6.72 match up for you?
Listen, I really liked it, and How many of you guys have smoked like the AVO Classic line?
Yeah.
Love
See,
the AVO Classic line.
See, I hate the AVO Classic line, but I really love.
It's all coming together then.
What?
But I love this Bellicoso is a lot different than the AVO Classic line. I think it's
on account of it being not good, or
okay. So you would say that this tastes really different than the AVO Classics?
yeah, remarkably different. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's where John and I are just differ on
Yeah.
that.
All right, Jiunn, 5.75.
I don't know. It's average. I mean, wouldn't really want to light it up again. But it's also one of those things where it's like, you see it. AVO Classics actually reminds me of like when I first started smoking cigars. Like it there's like a how do I say it? There's like a fond memory, classic memories of certain cigars from my earlier days of my cigar journey. Like what is it? Maybe like what is it? Like 10 years ago or so. So like stuff like AVO Classic, Diamond Crown, like what is it? The Maximus, that one.
Yeah, Maximus.
Yeah, like so every time I see an AVO Classic band, it kind of reminds me of like the days and how the blend has lasted for so many years. But I realized that smoking, well, this Vitola, of course, and this new, production of it, made me think that it's just not that great for me. So it's a pass.
Yeah, my 5.75 matches up well. The flavor profile overall was average. I mean, it started good, then average, then subpar, so it kind of works out that way. But construction was fantastic. That's what gets hitting those high fives. But I would go back to it just to try it again, but then that would determine whether I just forget it forever or not. All right, John, 5.45.
Now for $12, man, and Seth, I think kind of hit the nail on the head. I think if you like the AVO Classic, don't smoke this, and if you don't like the AVO Classic, maybe you'll love the Classic Bellicoso. I did not love this cigar, and when you factor in the price point, it's a no bueno for me.
This is kind of pricey.
It's a little pricey for an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper.
Yeah,
The
especially for Connecticut shade. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The price is no bueno. I'll
No
say
bueno. Listen, if this was $9, I would probably smoke another one of these because $9, whatever. But $12 gets into that, like if you're bringing an average flavor profile over the $10 mark, that's just janky, man. It's just
Like most new cigars.
yeah. I mean, once you go over that $10 price point, I think there's an expectation that it's got to be good, and apparently no one can do that within the last 18 months.
18 months, man. I think for the past 3 years, I think people just started increasing above the 10 just because they're all worried about everything. So the new norm now is just to smoke shit for anything under $15, unless you get that rare gem.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
This reminds me. I'm gonna go off on a slight tangent.
Oh, here we go.
I typically do, but I was watching. You know how they have that series movie, Psalm. Have you guys seen Psalm?
Yes.
Right.
What is it?
So it's about wine. About
the
sommelier,
Netflix documentary, or it's a documentary about sommeliers.
Yeah. For some, it's basically like wine sommelier.
Gotcha.
It takes you through the journey of like them going through the program and
It's cool.
just about wine industry, I would say in general. But there's Psalm 3 that came out 2 years ago, apparently, but I never seen it until yesterday. In that movie, they talk a lot. They basically had all these like master psalms that got together, and they were blind tasting a bunch of like Pinots, and Pinots all over the world. Because, I mean, typically the cream of crop is comes from Burgundy, right? It's the French stuff.
Oregon, baby.
But they were tasting all this stuff, and then at one point they started talking about, they're like, hey guys, you have to realize that when we talk about these wines here, these Pinots here, we are talking about what we like, not what the masses like, right? And that got me thinking, like, man, like all these cigar reviews that we talk about amongst just the four of us, of course it's our personal opinion, but I think what the masses buy out there, whether it's the Altadis and the journal stuff out there, like, is not what we like. But clearly they like it. They sell a ton of it, but it's not like what geeks like us like.
It's It's because the masses are cretins and we're better than them.
I mean, that's true.
I was gonna say
Superior
that,
to
but I was
them.
like, that sounds like a dick, and I don't want to say it.
I mean, it's
I
true.
mean, they're not
Yeah.
watching
Sorry.
it, and if they are watching it, they don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
But don't you think like the AVO Davidoff smoker is or should be kind of a cut above, your normal bundle / whatever smoker? Like that's I've always
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say maybe.
maybe.
The reason I say that is because a bit of Davidoff and AVO is a lifestyle, right?
Mhm.
So it's for maybe the more affluent smoker. Just because you have more money doesn't mean you have any taste.
That
So,
is entirely
um,
true. I can
Oh, yeah,
So
tell you that. Without
so you could
question.
you could give a Davidoff smoker something blind that's not a Davidoff, and you could probably keep their attention until you told them what it was. So I just I wouldn't say that the Davidoff smoker is necessarily a more refined or a better has a better palate than the
No,
average
because
smoker, so.
listen, the Davidoff lifestyle, that's not our lifestyle. The four of us
Right.
are lifestyle.
Right.
But we know so much more than those.
What are you talking about? I'm a
fuckers.
player.
They may have the money. They may have the money, but
You mean
I
I got the respect.
just because I don't wear my rollies on the review, No, I don't have any Rolexes.
What is those little like? What does Skip have them in? Like, what are those like charging? Whatever the little recalibration.
Oh yeah, the for your automatics. I actually have one of those.
I was like, what the hell is this? Is this like a
Yeah,
little USB thing now?
It's because it's a pain in the ass to change the time on your automatic. So yeah.
I just look at the sun or the moon.
Yeah, exactly. I got my sundial on
Anyways.
my wrist. Which way is the sun?
Anyways, I thought about that while watching it. For people that haven't seen that series,
It's 100% correct. Look,
Yeah.
if you smoke enough, you get to a point where you start. I keep fucking thinking about myself as how people should be. If you focus and you smoke a lot, you will weed out stuff that does not meet the criteria of
Fast.
something that you want, right?
Yeah.
If you don't focus, if you don't really care, you
You're
won't
smoking.
get to that point, right? You'll just smoke whatever, and you'll be like,
Or
"This
just the
is
masses.
fantastic," because cigars are great, and I love everything. So
Best year for cigars ever.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because-
listen, people will
No.
just watch the Masters or what do we just have, the PGA Open, and they'll be smoking.
Yeah.
And they'll enjoy it, even though it's not good. Look at Dan Reeves smoking Tatuai. I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, it's just, people just smoke it to smoke.
Yeah, and something that's kind of interesting is like when at this point when we smoke something, we just need 2-3 puffs and we know
It's
good
true.
or bad
It's
what it's
true.
going to be, the drive is going to be, right? Well, what it's going to be about. Those wine guys, those master somms, it is no different. Like they basically, the way they grade is like I think they call it like going through the grid, right? So they basically kind of like do what we do, right? Like they do the pre-light before the light up, and then they drink it, smell it, and all that stuff. But they go through it like it's clockwork, and they could tell so fast, right? It's kind of like how we are with cigars.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I do it with bourbon. It's like, it's not good. I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah.
they're like, oh, but it's free. It's from Horse Soldier. This is fucking amazing.
Dude, I downed that bottle. That was a fiery spirit.
All right, so that was my off tangent remarks.
It was great. It was a great topic. We 100% agree with you, but nobody that watches will agree with us. So,
Yeah, exactly.
all right. Speaking of that, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to us to get more of this great commentary about how shitty your palate is. And make sure you read the full written review on the website, developmentpalates.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Classic.